house.
Mitochondria, you've probably heard or seen memes, but they are the powerhouse of the cell. That's really because what's happening in the mitochondria is a process called cellular respiration. We are actually able
seriously
to
take
make
this many guys to rob a
energy
teenager?
there. So it makes sense that we have most of our energy production, our energy use, organelles in the muscles that we use. A lot of people are not taking these teenagers down. We are getting them down. Because they're I put in grade journal for things like that. Like your background there. Aaron, you have already made that question real quick? Is it okay if I could do this? Yeah, of course. Remember, you guys, why are you signing this new microscope? Go ahead and give me, what's the reason?
You're Spider-Man. You're the amazing Spider-Man. The spectacular Spider-Man. My father just says it distinct and uses it. Look.
Yes, that's perfectly word for word correct. Awesome job. Yeah, guys, exactly. Remember, yesterday we started talking about microscope. Started those notes.
Well, you can't just go swinging at someone twice your size.
The world
I mean,
and
don't get me
organisms that we
wrong. I
haven't
fight guys
seen.
strong all the time.
Remember, we were introduced into new organisms, details that we hadn't seen before. We can kind of understand why the word world works more as it does.
Okay, but that's
Again, everybody,
I'm sorry, I just can't do what you do.
See a lot of people going on a bunch of random websites.
All right, put them up.
Make sure you're answering these strong. Make sure you're answering these in the assignment.
First thing.
You guys also hold
Don't let the
yourself
adrenaline
accountable.
go.
Make sure you guys are these journal questions.
Hip square to your opponent.
Yeah, remember the quarter ends here soon in about 2
Use your feet.
weeks.
When they go off balance, look for an opening. Go.
All get really good grades on our
Only this time, just
awesome.
let me have it. Right on the jaw. Okay? I can take it. Oh, shh.
So I'm going to leave this up for just 1 more minute, guys, so y'all can get these answers down. But what we'll do today, everybody, is in just a second here, after we finish the journal questions,
Gotta go.
I'm going to actually show you guys a quick video. It's really good. It's a little cartoon animation, and it's called The Wacky History of Cell Theory. Today we will be finishing up
See that line real quick. What's that?
cell theory. So you guys will get to understand what that is today. Now, here's my little test for theory. Y'all are usually my fastest group.
Should
Again, we do have to finish those notes that we started yesterday, so if I can get every single person paying super attention, filling in the notes really quickly, I do have a Kahoot plan for the end of the day today. However, I'm going to be honest with y'all, my first and second period did not get to the Kahoot. They finished the notes with like maybe 5-7 minutes left of class. So if we can get those done pretty quickly, we'll play a Kahoot at the end. Should be fun. But anyway, guys, there you are.
Bro, you're not gonna believe this. I just met Spider-Man.
PowerPoint tomorrow, so y'all can get caught up. But what I want every single person to do right now, I want you to get those already in.
Yeah,
Go
I'll
ahead,
show them
open
next
up
time.
Teams.
I gotta go. I promised my mom I wouldn't leave me.
Go to our lovely theory class. Go to assignments. And then guys, I want y'all to open up this one right here, the microscopes and cell theory in our notes. Again, we're going to finish these up today. Got a lot of people that didn't even open them yesterday, so you guys are going to have a little bit of notes to get caught up on. Now, just like yesterday, while y'all are opening up this assignment, I want y'all to set your screen up just like this. I want half of your screen to be your notes, and then the other half of your screen to be my screen. So that way, when we do get to the notes, we can fill them in really, really quickly and then play a Kahoot at the end of class. So let's see. I'm waiting on everybody again. Your notes on one side.
These are
My screen on the other.
Oh, chose a pick?
Get that set up. Awesome.
Wow.
While y'all are getting this set up, I'm going to go ahead and play out a quick video. It's really cool. It's entertaining. It's pretty funny, too. It's a good introduction.
Still, you should lose it, nigga.
But again, while I'm playing the video, you guys set have this assignment on one side and have my screen on the other. I'm gonna go ahead and
Not bad.
That was too easy. I can't believe Sable systems are unsecure. We all sent an anonymous tip. Think I'll stay clear of those guys.
One of the great things about science is that when scientists make a discovery, it's not always in a prescribed manner, as in only in a lab. Strict setting, quiet lab coats and all sorts of neat science gizmos that go beep. In reality, the events that people involved in some of the major scientific discoveries are as weird and varied as they get. My case in point, the weird history of the cell theory. There are three parts to the cell theory. One, all organisms are composed of one of their cells. Two, the cell is the basic structure of organization in organisms.
Under the gate on the left,
And three,
or over the scaffolding to the right.
pre-existing cells. To be honest, this all sounds incredibly boring until you dig a little deeper into how the world of microscopic organisms this theory came. It all started in the early 1600s with Netherlands perspective. Come up with the first compound microscope, along with the first telescope. Claims were often disputed, as apparently he wasn't the only guy who found the black. Despite this, the microscope soon became a hot item that every naturalist or scientist at the time wanted to play with, making it much like the iPad of its day. One such person was a fellow Dutchman by the name of Untitled. He heard about these microscopes and instead of going out and buying one, he decided to make his own. And it was a strange little contraption as it looked more like a tiny paddle the size of a sunflower. If he had stuck two together, it probably would have made a wicked set of sunflowers. Yet, he just couldn't see much out of it. Anyway, once Ethan had his microscope, he went to town looking at anything and everything he could, including the gunk on his teeth. Yes, you heard right. He actually discovered bacteria by looking at dental scrapings. Which, when you keep in mind that people didn't brush their teeth much, if at all, back then, he must have had a lovely bunch of bacteria to look at. Well, and Dad referred that he thought he returned back his car. He wrote about his discovery. He didn't call them bacteria as we know them today, but he called them animalcules because they looked like little animals. While Leeuwenhoek was staring at his teeth gum, he was also sending letters to a scientific colleague in England by the name of Robert Hooke. Hooke was a guy who really loved all aspects of science, so he dabbled in a little bit of everything, including physics, chemistry, and biology. That's just Hooke, and we can thank for the term the cell, as he was looking at a piece of metal under his microscope, and the little chambers he saw were rooms of cells, or the rooms monks slept in their monasteries. Howard Torrance without the computers. What was something of an
Oh my.
Something that brought upon himself as he made the mistake of locking horns with one of the most famous scientists ever to rise in. Remember when I said Hooke dabbled in
Let me do this right.
Mark the Root published a groundbreaking book on how
Go right
planets
there.
use gravity. Hooke made the claim that Newton had been inspired by Hooke's work in physics. Newton, to say the least, did not like that. It sparked a tense relationship between the two that lasted even after Hooke died. Quite a bit of consideration.
Oh my. It wasn't even looking.
Much of it was rediscovered, thankfully, after Newton's time. But not as a portrait, as sadly no one knows what Robert Hooke
I passed the
did.
first dude.
Fast
Oh,
forward to the
okay.
1800s,
Bye.
where two German scientists
Boom.
discovered something
Go ahead.
corresponding rather odd.
Go.
But helped tie together what we now know as the cell theory. The first scientist was Matthias Schleiden, a botanist who loved to study plants under a microscope. From his years of studying different plant species, it really dawned on him that every single plant he had looked at were all made
Where's the
of
real
cells.
cars?
At the same time, on the other end of Germany was Theodor Schwann, a scientist who not only studied slides of animal cells under the microscope and got a special type of nerve cell named after him, but also invented rebreathers for firefighters who had a kicking pair of sideburns. After studying animal cells for a while, he too came to the conclusion that all animals were made of cells. Immediately, he reached out via snail mail, as what I had yet to be two other scientists working in the same field named Schleimer got back to him, and the two started working on the beginnings of a cell. A bone of contention arose between them as to the last part of the cell theory, that cells were pre-existing cells.
I hope I look sucky.
Or cells came from pre-cell formation, where they just kind of
Oh.
crystallized.
Just because I want to talk about it doesn't mean
That's when another scientist, Rudolf Virchow, stepped in with research showing that cells did come from
God,
cells.
that doesn't
Research
suck.
that was actually,
I'll call you on my way home.
borrowed without permission from a Jewish scientist by the name of Robert Vermack, which led to two more feuding scientists. Thus, from teeth Planck to Torkinoff Newton, crystallizations of swarm cells, the cell theory came to be an important part of biology today. Some things we know about science today may seem boring, but how we came to know them is incredibly fascinating. So if something bores you, dig deeper. It's probably got a really weird story behind it somewhere.
Sorry I'm late, man. Oh, no, I'm just glad you're here.
It's just a cool little introduction, guys.
What can I do to help?
Well, just start just bunch of places. Meet a few people. Yeah, what
So
everybody wants
again, y'all have had a beautiful time. Everybody should have it so that
check on you.
it's set up just like this. Again, also have my screen on one side and then have your screen on the other.
Bite.
That way we can get it done pretty quickly.
Much. You should, okay.
Also, see a lot of people are already set up exactly how they should be. Again, guys, make sure we are doing these notes. I can't remember if it's this period, it might be either this period or my first period, but a lot of people did do the last week's notes, the balancing and grading ones. Guys, you're gonna be a little lost if you're not doing the notes. Again, this is where I kind of introduce new things to you guys, allow you to kind of write down ideas on your computer so you can go back to them. And it's an easy grade. So make sure we are completing them and following along as I go over them. Again, today's our last day of this for a little bit at the fun and then but anyway, guys, we are on slide 10.
Or could be a used
That is where we're going to start with our last slide for Microsoft. So guys,
Be my guest.
sometimes we
Smarty pants.
Please, go ahead. We want to know what the total magnification of an object is, and how much bigger it is than it normally is in real life.
For Officer Jefferson Davis,
So we
the
have
hero
a
killed in the City Hall bombing,
Again,
as reports
giving
emerged
y'all
that
this
he used his
information
own
today.
body to shield others in his last moments of life.
But first, guys, what we have to do is when we're looking at
He didn't do nothing
microscopes, we
heroic
really
except
have
get himself
two
blown up.
items that are
Here it is.
making it
I see
easy.
that Miles.
We have the
gonna
first
be happening
item
around.
in our item.
You may have heard of his father, Jefferson Davis.
This typically magnifies things.
Pretty great that even though he's got a lot of stuff going on right now, he decides to come and volunteer. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Second, we need to determine the magnification of the objective lens. So as we talked about yesterday, you guys were introduced to these objective lenses. We have three of them. We have a low power, a medium power, and a high
See if
power
anybody's in
objective
the
lens.
kitchen.
They each have their own magnification. Again, low power has our smallest magnification,
Hey,
which is usually 4x.
I gotta take off, but
Medium power
brought some
typically
help
has
for
our medium magnification,
Miles,
which
nice
is
to see you.
10x.
Grab an egg.
Finally, high
wash your
power,
hands, and I'll show you
the
around.
high power objective lens typically has our largest magnification,
Hey, Peter.
which generally is 40x. It depends
for that
on
right
the
there.
microscope you're using.
course.
Now, to find the total magnification of the spectrum we're looking
See,
at,
we should be moving Dr.
find
Michaels.
these two numbers together.
Better get to the Bowery
So
and
we
locate him.
multiply the magnification of the ocular lens and then the magnification of the objective lens. So I did give you guys an example right here. So if I have a 10x ocular and a 40x objective magnification, we would have a 400x total magnification. And that's just because, again, I'm multiplying this number and this number. Awesome, very good. We're working along.
Yeah.
There you go.
I need to find my
Same thing as
shorts.
we have been doing. Go ahead, guys. Raise your hand if you need another second on this slide. Awesome. Got you, Trenton. We'll leave it up for another minute. And then Trenton, just unraise your hand whenever you're ready to go on.
Hey, people.
Sean, again, the easiest way to do this is like you have your assignment on one side and the video on the other. No. So proud of how many people are in these notes. This is awesome. You guys, I'll still continue on sending out those positive referrals. I'll send a few home every day. I'm emailing parents if you guys aren't engaged or aren't submitting work. But again, just hold yourselves accountable. Make sure you're learning. Be the best people you can be. Awesome, Trenton's done. So we're going to move on. So guys, now start the slides on the cell theory, which you're just introduced to in that video we just watched. So slide 12, everybody, I'm going to give y'all just a couple seconds here. Go ahead. I want y'all to write 3 observations you see from these pictures right here. Go ahead and write them on your own, and we'll talk about a couple. Give y'all some ticket points. Again, we'll have a giant treasure box when y'all get back to school. Hopefully earn, at least get you guys some cool items for all these tickets you're earning. 3 observations. Again, we got lots of different types of observations. We have quantitative and qualitative. And quantitative deal with numbers because of that N. Describes that quantity. And remember, qualitative, talking about a quality. Characteristics, more descriptions. Awesome, everybody writing down some observations. Very good. Let's go ahead and share a couple. Would anybody like to share an observation they see about this picture over here? Oh yeah, Maria, give me one.
They look tan, like, they look like a tan, like.
Yeah, they have like a tan tint to them. Very good. So they have like a tannish color. Raspberry, you want to give me another one?
It, like, kind of looks like snake skin.
It does kind of look like snake skin, doesn't it? Yeah, it kind of looks like the shedded skin of a snake. If you guys have ever held or felt that. Yeah, Tajani, give me one.
Look some comment.
Some have, like, big little square whatever thingies, and then some have, like, a bunch of mediums.
Yeah, very good. So they change on their different size cells. Very good. Ilana? Or did I just call on you, Ilana?
I was gonna say it looks like skin, like from a human body, like close up. Like
Yeah, it does look like skin close up. Very good, guys. Awesome observations here. I just had some from earlier today that I wrote down. Zara, you want to give me another one?
And they're all shaped in like a global form, like a circle.
Yep, all shaped kind of in a circular form. Very, very good. Yeah, Sean, give me another one.
The top 2 look like the cells are stacked.
I love that you said that one, Sean. Yes, very good. They look kind of like the cells are stacked. Again, remember when we were doing our Bill Nye the Science Guy the other day, guys? Remember we kind of talked about how cells build like bricks. They build like a wall. That's how these are built. Again, we start with one and they build and stack on top of each other, giving us eventually an organism. Yeah, Aaron, give me another one. Daniel. If you're talking, your mic is muted, just letting you know.
It wasn't letting me unmute for some reason.
Oh, you're good, no worries. Did you see an observation about these pictures you wanted to share?
They look like a bunch of teeth.
They do look like a bunch of teeth. Yeah, I had someone say that earlier today too. Exactly right, yeah, and then Trenton want to give us an observation.
Yeah, but I got another thing.
Yeah, what's an observation? Then the other thing.
So they do look like a bunch of teeth, or they look like a bunch of scales from the...
Yeah, very good. See a lot of teeth or scales, exactly right, guys. It's awesome. So I added a couple. What was that, Trenton?
And then my computer died, so I kind of I left
Oh,
it.
you're good. No worries. Thank you for letting me know, and thank you for joining back right away. That was awesome. Alright, so guys, if you can't think of 3, even though we went over a bunch of them, I did write down some examples that people said today, so y'all can use any of those 3. Go ahead and fill out this slide. Awesome, and then guys, go ahead, raise your hand for me real quick if y'all need another second on this slide. Awesome, got you, Trenton, no worries. Got a couple people still on the last slide we just worked on. Make sure y'all are paying attention and caught up. Looks like everybody's following along. Proud of you guys, those of you really working hard. And then Trenton, just unraise your hand whenever you're ready, and we'll move on. I'm hoping, guys, today, if we can get done with these notes quick enough. Again, my first and second period, they ended class with, I think, we finished the notes and they had 7 minutes of class, 5 minutes left of class. So I did just let them go. But today, I'm hoping we can finish this pretty soon, and then we can play food at the end. As promised, I do have to get notes for y'all sometimes just to get some information down. I'm going to show y'all more of this quarter how to use their notes and how they're so important. Awesome. Thank you, Trenton. Alright guys, I'm now going to slide 13. Slide 13. Alright, so spontaneous generation. So guys, before we had these microscopes, before we had, we could observe these cells, people thought that life just kind of appeared. Again, if you were paying attention in that video earlier, they talked about how people kind of believed that eventually items just crystallized and cells formed and life was created and it would grow. And that idea is called spontaneous generation. So for much of history, people believed that animals could come from non-living sources. Some people believed that frogs could develop from falling drops of rain. People believed that flies arose from decaying meat. And this is known as abiogenesis, or spontaneous generation. The day the microscope was invented, however, was the beginning of the end of this idea. But guys, in history, especially without social media and internet, old theories die pretty hard, and it took about 200 years for this idea of spontaneous generation to disappear and be replaced with what we know now as the cell theory. And this actually, guys, is wonderful because it ties into our chemistry unit. I want to get y'all to think for a minute real quick before I just tell you the answer, but 2 points here. Why, when we just got over the law of conservation of matter, right? How does that law kind of make us know that spontaneous generation can't exist? Anybody think they know? Sean?
It proves that in order for things to appear, that cells have to duplicate in order to even be there.
Yeah, Sean! I am so proud of you, dude. That was the perfect answer. Yes, very, very good. Yeah, guys, again, remember we just finished chemistry unit. Remember that law of conservation of mass tells us that matter can't be created or destroyed out of thin air. It can only be transformed. So we have cells, and the only way to get other cells or more life is for those cells to replicate. We can't just make them appear out of thin air. Very good. Alright guys, go ahead, raise your hand for me real quick if you need more time on the slide. And again, guys, I promise you the easiest way to take these notes is to have, unless you have 2 monitors, is to have the screen on one side, my screen, and your assignment on the other. That way you don't have to go back and forth. You can make sure your spelling's right. It's the easiest way to do it. Also, I don't see anybody raising their hands, so I'm going to move to slide 14. Slide 14. So the start of the cell theory. So again, guys, the microscope, it allowed us to start to see these cells that were comprising different organisms. And so thankfully in 1665, we have this guy, Robert Hooke, and what he did is he actually put the bark of cork trees under a microscope. And when he did this, guys, he saw these shapes that y'all were describing earlier, y'all were making observations for. And he thought that these objects actually looked like individual rooms that he'd seen in a monastery. In a monastery, they call the individual rooms cells, so that's actually where we get the name from. We call cells cells because they look like rooms in a monastery, thanks to old Robert Hooke right here. Now, while Hooke first identified cells, guys, and gave them names, he didn't know their function. He had only kind of recognized them and saw that they were there and gave them a name. I love how many people are working right now on this slide. Very, very good. What's up, Tajani? You got a question, or are you just still working?
I went to the bathroom on slide 13, so after you're done with this one, can you go back for a little bit?
Totally fine, yep. And also, Tajanique, if there's ever a time where you finish a slide really early and I'm waiting for people to finish, I actually did already post this answer key under files. So if you want to get that there while you're waiting, you're more than welcome to. But otherwise, I'll give it to you at the end of the lesson. I'll go back. Just remind me.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, of course. No worries. Alright, guys, go ahead. Raise your hand from here real quick if you need more time on this slide. Awesome, very good, guys. Yeah, this was a pretty short one. Alright, moving on to slide 15. Getting done. We're almost finished with these notes, guys. Again, let's get through these. Let's play a Kahoot. Let's have some fun. Alright, so still the start of the cell theory. Again, guys, it took many different scientists to get to the cell theory that we have today. And here's another one. We have Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Some of these names are really fun to say. So in 1670, guys, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, he developed the microscope lens in order to see a greater magnification. And this actually, guys, is the microscope that he first invented. When you're looking at it, you're like, how does he see things close up with that? But he actually had a very specific way, and we'll actually watch a video on it next week. I'll show you guys exactly how you use this. So Leeuwenhoek, guys, he was the first person to observe bacteria and protozoa under a microscope. And protozoa is just a single-celled organism. Also, Leeuwenhoek, guys, he observed and described red blood cells for the first time. Alright, little pop question here. Who remembers, we watched Bill Nye the other day, what element in our blood makes our red blood cells appear red? Yeah, Audria?
Iron.
Iron, very, very good, awesome. Yeah, and then let's see, so Audria, we have iron in blood. What is the iron reacting with in order to make it that red color? Y'all remember? Ilana?
Oxygen?
Yes, very good. Y'all are so smart. Very good, yes. Just like rust on a nail, guys, nails are made out of iron. And when over an amount of time, when that iron is introduced to the oxygen in the air, that's why nails rust and they become that red color. Same thing with our cells. Our cells have a protein called hemoglobin in it. And in that protein, we have iron. As we breathe in oxygen, that iron is introduced to oxygen, and then it looks and appears to have that red color. Sorry, I see you raising your hand. You got a question real quick?
I mean, like, this, lesson, it seems cool, but I don't really understand it that well.
No worries, Zaria. Right now, to be honest with you, Zaria, just hearing that it sounds cool is good for me. Because again, guys, a lot of times I start lessons off with these notes just so that we can get introduced to the material. But I promise, Zaria, we have a lot of time to be working on cells, so we'll have some activities to do tomorrow and all next week really understanding this material. I promise, you'll have it by the end of next week. Got you covered. Awesome. Raise your hand, guys. Yeah, no problem. And also, guys, too, I realize in the past, just kind of from observing everybody and kind of test scores, looking at that, I feel like a lot of people don't realize how important their notes are. So again, I'm going to kind of make sure we're coming back to these and using these to help us on assignments throughout this quarter. For example, that chemistry quiz we had, a lot of people didn't do the study guide when I made the study guide from y'all's notes. So I'm going to show y'all a lot on how to really use these notes beneficially and help learn information. But I got you planned. I got some fun activities to review all that and make it understanding. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and go to slide 16. Slide 16. So again, here's another scientist we have helping us out with the cell theory. And this guy's name is Matthias Schleiden. His last name is really fun to say, so if you haven't ever said that last name, go ahead and try. But in 1838, guys, Matthias Schleiden, he concluded that all plant tissues are composed of cells. If you were watching during the video I played at the end of class, you would have learned that Schleiden, he's actually a botanist. He had tons of different plants all around his property, around his house. And basically, guys, he had a microscope and he just took a bunch of different plants and studied them under the microscope. And what Schleiden noticed, what was that?
Very mean. I said he looks very mean.
Doesn't he? He was very, very mean. I wonder, I don't know, maybe plants made him mad being around that all the time. But plants are awesome. But anyway, guys, yeah, and no matter what plants Schleiden observed under the microscope, he noticed that every single one had these cells in them. So Schleiden, from his observations and his experiments, he was able to declare that the cell is the basic building block of all plant matter. All plants, no matter what they look like, what shape, what color, what form they all are made up of cells. Schleiden also is credited because he could sense the importance of the nucleus of the cell. Some of y'all might have heard this word before. The nucleus is actually where all the genetic material of the cell is located. So we will actually learn these, not next week, but the week after. Called organelles. I like some people getting ahead already. That's awesome, guys. Very good. Very good. It looks like almost everybody's finished this slide. If anybody needs another second one, raise your hand for me real quick.
Hey, Yuri.
I got you.
I'm heading to the Bowery to make sure Michaels gets to his new safe house. You know, safe.
I wouldn't do
There
that.
are
Silver Sable made it clear you are not welcome.
Yeah, well, what you gonna do? Shoot me?
Tomorrow we have a cool little
Honestly,
activity reviewing the
50-50
cell
chance.
theory. So basically, guys, what the
Fine.
cell theory is saying,
I'll be in the
that,
neighborhood, but not too
cells
close.
don't
Just in
disappear
case.
randomly. They come from other cells. And we're really
is the
just kind of
Bowery.
learning the
Where's
different
Dr. Michaels?
scientists that made that theory possible. In simple terms. I know, like, these types of PowerPoints kind of seem a little like they're a lot of information, but I just want to get that out for you guys. Dr. Michaels, is that the devil's breath?
It's called
And then Raspberry,
GR27,
go ahead
not
when you're finished, just lower your hand and I'll move on. Perfect,
long
very good.
hands. This is...
Alright guys, slide 17.
I feel better already.
Another person that is responsible for our cell theory, he also has a really fun last name to say. This is Theodore Schwann. So in 1839, guys, Theodore Schwann, he concluded that all animal cells and animal tissues were also made up of cells. So now, because of Schleiden and Schwann, we know that plants all have cells and animals all have cells. So, Schwann was able to collaborate with a new theory in biology. Schleiden and Schwann, say this 10 times fast. Schleiden and Schwann's ideas became known as the cell theory. And guys, this theory is so important in science. The theory of cells is important to biology as the atomic theory was to chemistry. So the fact, guys, that atoms make up all matter is as important to chemistry as knowing that all cells make up life. Now this cell theory, guys, is stated two things. It stated that all organisms are composed of cells.
Welcome aboard.
And it stated that cells are the basic unit of life. And again, no matter how different life looks, we have so many life forms. We have plants, we have palm trees, we have trees, we have little bugs, we have dogs, we have humans.
Yeah, sure
No
you
matter
do.
what form of life we are, or what we look like, we all have one thing in common, and that's that we're made up of cells. Cece, what's up, girl? I see you raising your hand. I can't read it. All of my glasses. Cece, where are your glasses?
Yuri, I'm in pursuit of Martin Lee. I think he's got Dr. Michaels and the Devil's Breath.
Copy that. More units coming your way.
He took Michaels alive, so that's
What?
good.
Probably so we can force him to make that Devil's Breath.
I have to stop that truck. Tank, whatever.
39. Okay. And then Theodore, Theodor. One. Alright. The second point is cell theory.
This is Sable International. We have authorization for deadly force. There will be no further warning.
And then CC, the third point is biology.
All units, open fire. Spider-Man, get clear. You are interfering in this operation.
Sorry, I'm not on board with Operation Missiles in the
So real quiet. Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, perfect.
I need to clear the guys in the trucks before I go after Lee.
You're good on time, guys. When you supplies, well done.
Hey, stop shooting!
Hopefully we can get the but if not, guys, it's an awkward amount of time left. It's 5. I'll let y'all know a couple minutes early today. And then tomorrow will be the fun day. That's the plan for you guys. I'm going to have another little activity for the self. You guys want to do on Monday next week because of MLK Day. But on Tuesday, we'll be coloring the microscope and learning the parts. We have a virtual microscope lab planned. It'll be a fun week. We're getting this info in. Alright guys, going on this flight.
We need this quick. I gotta take this.
Open fire.
Sable, you're gonna kill someone!
I could do something.
Sweden and Schwann, there we go. Again, guys, they came up with this theory, the cell theory, and then we have two different scientists right here that kind of just,
Rudolph.
they added on to it a little bit.
Birch.
And that would be Rudolf Virchow.
Virchow!
In 1855, Rudolf Virchow, he basically proposed that all cells result
Louis Pasteur.
in cells. And that's true. In order to get
Louis
more cells,
Pasteur. Ooh, bro. Or eventually we have tissues grow and organs grow. okay, a glizzy? Ooh. Ooh.
And then finally guys, we have this guy here on this
Hey, Lee, what you doing? Mike.
and he actually
Mike.
Virchow theory. But then it
Yeah, I want it on, boy. I'm on, boy. I'm on, oh. Come
what
here.
he did, guys,
I'm on it.
you guys are curious. So he basically had rocks. Basically what he did is he put some kind of cell in one and then in the other, and what he saw is the cell in to grow.
What are you doing to me? Give me one.
However, the other one that didn't have anything, no germs, no bacteria, it didn't grow. So again, we have to have cells coming from other cells. Here.
I must be honest. I was hoping to bring you here.
Alright guys, raise your hand up if you need another minute on this slide.
Persuasive. I've been watching.
Going on this slide at
I
night.
was waiting for you at City Hall. You never came.
Ah, hold on, let me do this
You're
one.
good, no worries, guys. We got another second.
You're in my mind.
Sure you guys are keeping up and only have some gaps in your notes.
It was a shame. So many had to die. officer saved your life, didn't he? He was here because of you.
Underneath waiting, sorry it's getting hot up. Sean's working.
Norman wanted to use it. A futile gesture. And where was Norman?
Are you finished with the slide? Does anybody else need another second?
He knew what was going to happen, and he fled. Norman is a hidden cancer on his city. He must be exiled with no trace of his corruption. Norman hides behind his mask of lies. I will break it apart and drag him into the light. Put on the mask. Become one of us.
Alright guys, now
one way or the other.
All these scientists, guys, they eventually, throughout time, we have now our modern day cell theory. So this is the cell theory as we know it today. Because of the scientists we
basic.
Now guys, our cell theory today states three things. Number one, it states that all organisms are composed of cells. Again, cells are the basic structure and function of all life. No matter how diverse it gets, you guys always have something similar to all life on Earth. And that's that you have a cell. You have cells. The second little statement here of the cell theory, guys, is that cells are the basic unit of life. Again, no matter what type of life form there is, we all have one thing in common, and that's that we have cells. And
all the souls you've lost, the innocent victims you couldn't save.
Their blood is on our heads.
You can stop Osborn. You have so much strength. I can give you the will.
You can actually see part of my this right here. You can see this was eventually originally just one cell.
Okay.
Body filled the gutter, and you did nothing. What's one life? A simple trade. One life for a city of souls. You defend Osborn while he sits in his ivory tower. Show me your true strength.
We're almost done! Yay! Don't worry,
Kneel before me and expose me.
already ready on the next slide. That's awesome, guys.
The shadows are sworn to me, and I will give them strength. What?
Go ahead, guys.
I won't abandon you in the darkness, Martin.
You can't!
Very good,
Come
guys.
back to the light.
I got time on to go in good. Metabolism.
This is these definitions are kind of describing what makes life life and what makes cells be considered living. So again, guys, cells are the smallest structural and functional unit of all living things.
Growth.
And we know this because cells can perform multiple functions. Cells have a metabolism. And this is the sum of all chemical reactions inside the cell. Cells are eukaryotic. They can perceive and respond to changes in the environment. For example, when I see a boiling pot of water and I go to go touch that boiling pot of water, as soon as I touch it, I'm automatically responding.
Besides
Cells are capable of homeostasis, or keeping conditions inside the organ's balance, basically. So for example, as your body likes certain salt. However, if you're not in homeostasis or that perfect condition, you'll become dehydrated. Your body will tell you you need more water in order for it to maintain this homeostasis.
Thank you. I did 13 from that face one.
Provide energy for growth. Finally, guys, they have to have this. They have to protect themselves against it. For example, our bodies, we have what's known as our immune system, which is basically our body's defense cells. They sense that we have an intruder or an unknown virus or bacteria in our body, and they send cells to go fight it. Very good. I'm gonna leave this class.
You okay? Did they take it?
Go ahead, everybody.
How worried should I be? Very.
If you guys are missing any of the slides or any of the words,
You're a popular guy.
I have already posted the answers on Microsoft Teams, so you are more than welcome to do that. But we will definitely
Where's the serum?
back these notes. I'm gonna have a couple of activities for y'all throughout this week where you will come back and literally read the notes and answer questions about them. Because again, I want to teach all the importance of notes. They're very important. They go all fire ideas down.
My fault.
And honestly, guys, all fire
Two of those?
and cells. It's a lot. That's impressive. To have all that information at the tips of our fingers just in 20 slides. So again, turn it in. I promise that stay on, y'all have any questions. Remember, your quiz corrections are due by later tonight. Sorry, Allie now. Allie, okay. But today, you're on to...
Tell me you got a lead on Martin Lee's location.
We have footage from a guy at a coffee shop. Looks like he hopped into a black sedan after the crash.
Guys, again, see the light of somebody's life. A little kind comment can really make somebody's day. And we want that in the world. You want to make as many touch as many people's lives.
Good cop, Yuri. I'm on my way.
I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Y'all can stay on if you have any questions or comments. But other than that, y'all finished early today. We'll start with you. Love y'all. I'm proud of you guys. Great work. Davion, if you're raising a question real quick, please.
I had missed 13, 14, and 15, but I have the rest.
There you go. Yeah, if you raise your hand, Davion, I just didn't hear you. Anything you said when you unmuted your mic.
Wait.
Right there, Davion?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I had need 13, 14, and 15 slide.
Alright, gotcha. So, here's 13, and Davion, I'll stay on just for another minute, but if you need those slides, you can already put them in. If you want to get them there, too.
Okay. See sources. Or aka spontaneous generation.
Let me know when you're done with the slides.
I need 14 now. I'm on 14. That's mine. Okay, I need 15. That's mine.
Alright, here you go.
Okay, I'm done.
Awesome. If you've done this, go ahead and turn it in when you start.
That's fine.
And I'll put the rest of it later. Thank you for following along. Let me know what you need.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, guys. I love y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
That turned in. They're rough.
Maybe I will go like that. I don't know, my mask on there from last night. What is this a tight, oh, this is a tight one.
Did I do not really fall?
This one, right? Oh, never mind, I'm gonna take this. Oh, you come with me.
Spread like wildfire from there.
Why the hell is Oscorp developing a pilot?
The back as I see that I'm gonna get like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna actually, yeah, I'm just get on.
Weapon in the city.
I'm just in that area.
Be in an Arctic bunker?
Devil's breath is personal for Norman. It's been his obsession for decades. The project breaks every state and federal regulation on the books, but he doesn't care.
If the city finds out, he can kiss re-election goodbye.
Never mind re-election. He'd be tried in The Hague for war crimes.
Why are you telling me all this? Aren't you just as culpable as Norman?
Yes, completely. But Lee's actions have been a wake-up call. We've ignored the project's risk for too long.
Probably.
No, nothing.
Our mistakes.
Nah, let's go. So you got that book
I
bag.
have to get him.
Go get this one here.
Attention agents in Hudson Town. Command wants an update. Control, APC Bravo, engaging demons.
Doc left word.
Parker, I wanted to thank you. Your work on the neural interface has been invaluable. I wish you could see what's happening right now.
See that coming?
But it's beginning to dawn on me just how powerful it is to use the forces arrayed against you visionaries are. I promise you though, success will come, whatever it takes.
Powerful and insidious forces. I don't like the sound of that. Need to check on Doc when I get a chance. The demons are getting bold. You're welcome.
Hello everyone. Happy Thursday.
I just gotta get 3 more. I'm gonna just do this one first.
I was doing good. Kylan, were you able to get your computer fixed? Your mom
problems you've been having.
Touch to the face is not proper consumer etiquette.
Well, if not, I hope you were able to get it. So guys, today is the last day of Oliver Twist. We have made it towards the end. So we have 10 minutes remaining in Oliver Twist. So we're going to do our do now first. And then we will answer episode 6 questions. We'll answer episode 6 questions together. We'll turn in 5 and 6. The fifth one, especially 6. We'll answer episodes 5 and 6. And then we'll review. Alright guys, I am putting the link to the do now in the chat. And all the do now is asking you is tell me what you think is going to happen to Oliver. We have 10 minutes left of Oliver Twist, so the do now is just telling me what you think will happen to Oliver. So that do now is in the chat. Please answer that for me. And then we will get started. My dog just looked all over my computer. What are you doing?
That's not right.
So please make sure you answer the do now. Our do now answers are getting smaller and smaller in the amount of people who answer them, so please answer them. Thank you, Audria, for go ahead and answering that.
That is
Why he's so interested.
I just gotta do 2 more. Yes.
Yesterday you marked me absent. Oh, did I still not change it? No. My mom got a call from school. She got mad at me. Sorry, Roz. I thought I changed it yesterday. Let me go back and look. I thought for sure it was. I remember you said
Oh my god. Every time.
And you were like, no, it's okay. Then I did.
I'll do by the end of the day, bro.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I did not change it.
Oh, over here.
So tell your mom that it was my fault, and I'm very sorry. And that you were in class.
I know, I'm a jerk.
Do I need to email her, Ross?
An assault. I better step in.
Okay.
Try and guess how I feel about police.
But let her know it's fixed. So if she were to go into power school, it is fixed. Okay. Sorry. Thank you for telling me.
You know, I went up from here. Don't want to mess around.
Alright. What was the guy's name that kidnapped Uncle Aaron? Oh, Bill. So Nancy. That's Bill. It seems like we're missing so many in this class with like everything. I think we're missing 4 people now. Right.
You come on.
Alright guys, well I'm going to go ahead and while you're finishing now, I'm gonna get where y'all were at yesterday. And
take that.
Oliver Twist, and we will finish that.
Harry, I've been meaning to ask. How does Sable's team feel about our special relationship?
Oh, they love it.
That bad, huh?
Let's just say if they ever found out how much info I feed you, a cell in Rikers would be the least of them.
Right. Yes, Todd.
Stupid.
So yeah, it's gonna be, and I'll explain more in detail when we get there, but it'll be like half about Oliver Twist and half about the notes that we took last week.
look forward to these last 10 minutes together.
Devil's breath is gone. I should call MJ and warn her.
This is Mary Jane Watson. Please leave a detailed message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
What are you up to now, MJ?
Oh,真的是screen骂过了。Sheesh. Screen, I'll be back. Actually, I'm gonna high screen in the free.